It was supposed to be a quiet night. My parents were gone, visiting my aunt in the city, and I had begged to stay behind. One weekend alone to enjoy some peace, to sleep in and watch horror movies without any interruptions. But peace wasn't meant to be. It began with the sound of a distant siren, faint but growing louder. Another followed, then a third. I glanced out the window, my heart sinking as I saw an eerie glow on the horizon, flickering like fire. The emergency alert on my phone buzzed in my hand. Stay inside. Lock all doors and windows. Do not engage with the infected. I thought it was just a drill at first. But then I checked the TV, and it confirmed it wasn't. This is not a drill. This is not a drill, the news anchor repeated, his voice trembling. Panic surged in me as I tried to contact my friends. I dialed each one, but the calls went unanswered, straight to voicemail. Infected. My heart pounded. A distant scream, a tremor beneath my feet. Gripping my bat, I locked the door with shaking hands. This was real. Something was very wrong. I peeked through the curtains. The street was deserted except for Mr. Davidson, my elderly neighbor. He stood motionless in the middle of the road. I hesitated before opening the door just a crack. Mr. Davidson. His head snapped toward me. He moved like a puppet, his bloody teeth showing. I shut the door fast. A heavy thud shook it as growls and pounding echoed around me. I turned off the lights and backed away, my mind racing. What do I do? Where do I go? Then it hit me. Sam. My little brother had gone to his friend Jake's house a few streets over. I had to find him. I grabbed my backpack, stuffing it with water bottles, a flashlight, and the biggest knife I could find in the kitchen. The pounding at the door had stopped, but I wasn't stupid enough to check. I slipped out the back into the cold night air. The town was unrecognizable. Cars sat abandoned, their doors wide open. Streetlights flickered. And the silence, God, the silence was worse than the screams. I stayed low, gripping my bat, every sound making my breath catch. A figure shuffled ahead. It was Mrs. Thompson, the sweet old woman who ran the bakery. Her apron was stained with red. I almost called out to her, but then I saw her mouth. It was unnaturally wide, dripping, chewing something I couldn't identify. I had to bite my tongue to keep from gagging. She suddenly turned, sniffing the air. I quickly hid behind a car, pressing flat against the cold metal. My heart raced. She had heard me. A deep growl came from her, and then she charged straight at me. I ran as fast as I could, my feet pounding the ground, my lungs burning, but I couldn't stop. I could hear her behind me getting closer. The growls were louder. Jake's house was near. I pushed myself harder, jumping over a fallen trash can. The noise made them even more angry. Ahead was a fence, Jake's backyard. I didn't stop. I jumped over it, landing hard on the other side. Pain shot through my ankle, but I scrambled up and ran for the back door, hammering on it.
Jake! Sam! Open the door!
I screamed. The door creaked open just enough for me to see an eye peering out. Then it opened fully. Sam stood there, his face pale, his eyes wide. "Oh my God," I gasped, pulling him into a tight hug. "You're okay." Jake stood behind him, gripping a metal pole. His hands were bloody. "Get inside," he whispered. I stepped in and locked the door. What happened? Jake swallowed hard. My parents, they turned. I shuddered. How? What is this? They say it's a virus, he whispered. But I think it's something worse. A loud crash from the front of the house made us all jump. Shadows moved against the windows. The infected had followed me. "We need to get out of here," I whispered. "There's a car in the garage," Jake said. "But we have to be fast." We crept through the house, every step making the floorboards groan. The infected pounded at the front door now, their snarls filling the air. Jake hit the garage door opener, and the metal door rumbled up. The infected turned. "Go." We sprinted to the car, flinging open the doors. Jake jammed the keys into the ignition. "Nothing." No, he muttered, twisting the key. The infected were coming. A figure hit the windshield, Mr. Davidson. His head smashed against the glass, splattering dark blood. Sam screamed. Jake started the car, speeding through the crowd. Bodies flew, and bones cracked under the tires. I turned to see them rising again, their twisted limbs and crushed skulls still moving. "They don't die," I whispered in shock. "They do," Jake replied, his knuckles tight on the wheel. "You just have to destroy the brain." The roads were a mess. Fires burned, casting dark shadows. The infected filled the streets. And then I saw it. Military barricades up ahead. Soldiers, guns raised. Survivors screaming to be let through. A helicopter circled above, a voice booming through a speaker. "If you are bitten, you will not be allowed to pass." Sam grabbed my hand. "We're going to make it, right?" I forced a smile. Of course. The barricade was closing. Soldiers aimed at the infected, mowing them down, but there were too many. The gates began to seal. "Faster, Jake," I screamed. The car surged forward. We swerved around a wreck, almost flipping. The gates were closing. Then I saw him, Mr. Davidson, holding onto the back of our car, his angry face twisted. His fingers scraped the window. I didn't think, I just grabbed the bat and swung. His head smashed with a horrible crunch. His body fell under the tires. We rushed through the gates just as they shut. Gunshots echoed. The infected rushed at the barricade. We were safe, for now. But as I looked back at the town, at the people still trapped inside, I knew this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. That was one wild ride, wasn't it? What would you do if you were in the middle of this nightmare? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. What would your strategy be for surviving the infected? And don't forget to subscribe for more chilling tales like this one.